Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I've got a requested video for you. This is not something I would have really thought up myself. I really want to make an effort to try and do the videos that have been asked of me, and so I'm doing this one. I'm really sorry if I can't remember your name. You'll know who you are. You have requested a video for me to talk about my tongue piercing. So yes, I have my tongue pierced. I'm not necessarily advertising it massively. I try and be discreet with it. It's not that I'm embarrassed or ashamed of it, it's just that I work for a bank. I'm a personal banker, and so I have to be discreet at work with it. I don't remove it and put a plastic one in. I don't feel that I need to. It has been noticed one or two times, and a client has made a comment, but usually just in a jokey way. I think it's just because they're surprised that somebody like me that is quite have got a quite conservative look when I'm at work. I still wear makeup, but not really bold lips like I am now, and I used to be blonde, and I would keep everything very sweet and simple and nude and pink, and you know, that sort. I think you know what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm going to talk about my piercings. So in total, I have my navel pierced, my tongue pierced. I have 3 piercings here, and I once had a top piercing. It really didn't suit me and I didn't like it, so I took it out. I can't remember which ear it was in now. It was when I was a lot younger. And of the 3 piercings I've got, the 3rd hole I believe is closed up, and the 2nd hole I don't really use. I once heard somebody say you need to do things in odd numbers, so I have 1 or 3 but not 2. And I don't know, I just got that in my head, and so I had the 3rd one done. My first ear piercings is the one that I use. Were actually not my choice. This is probably going to shock a lot of people, but my mum pierced my ears. Well, not my mum personally. My mum took me to have my ears pierced when I was 6 weeks old. So I'm told. It's not something I would do with my own daughter. I'm not something I have done. She's 3, and I'm not going to pierce any part of her. She can make that decision for herself. But in my please don't leave any hateful comments towards my mum for anybody that is that way inclined, because she had her reasons, and you know, that's her business. Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean we need to leave any hateful comments towards her. But basically, it worked out fine. I would have had them done, I'm sure. I do like them and I do use them, but no matter how long I leave my earrings out, they'll never close up because I've had them since I was 6 weeks old, these first 2 holes. For my tongue piercing, I've had it done twice. Again, it's something that I suppose not a lot of people know about me on my YouTube channel because I don't talk about it, but I sing. I've always sung and I love to sing. And I had my tongue pierced the first time when I think I was about 19, and I had it done in Birmingham in the UK. And I had it done in a place called the Oasis Centre, which at the time was, I think, either attached or part of the Bullring, which is a massive shopping mall. And the Oasis Centre section was sort of like an alternative section. If you don't know what I mean by that, I'm talking like, you know, people that are into sort of music that's not necessarily in the charts. Well, it wasn't then anyway, like rock music, punk music, ska music, metal, you know, we were called all sorts growing up because I was into that sort of thing. Goths, even though I didn't wear loads of black, emos, whatever. Every generation will go through a stage when they're young of being categorised. At my school, it was very much, in my generation, you were categorised your identity a lot by what music you liked to listen to, and I liked things like Guns N' Roses and Nirvana, so if that paints a picture for you. So I had my tongue pierced in the Oasis Centre, which was like an alternative section of the shopping mall, and I did have it numbed. So I'm just going to take this off, I'm really warm. So I had my tongue numbed. I've had it done twice, and I will just quickly say that it makes no difference whether you have your tongue numbed or not. It didn't in my experience anyway, so I wouldn't go for that extra step of necessarily having it numbed, because the numbing itself isn't very pleasant. You know, it hurts as it goes numb. So the first time I had it done, it was fine. It swelled up massively, which it does, and then the swelling goes down really, really, really slowly, which it does. And they give you advice, like for example, they give you a really massive bar, which is quite uncomfortable because they have to make room for the swelling, and then they tell you to when you should take it down to the next size. I now wear a 10mm bar, which looks like this. See, here we go. So, and I just get mine off eBay. So the first time I had it done, then it swelled up and went down. Everyone's experience is different. I had a friend that went home the night after she had her tongue pierced and ate Chinese takeaway food. They say don't eat things like rice or small particles so it doesn't get stuck inside. Some people I know were on shakes, smoothies and soups for ages. I just sort of was mindful of what I was eating to not eat anything really with small bits like rice, but I didn't sort of go on to liquid food, let's say. It wasn't that bad. So yeah, in a few weeks it was fine. The pain was sort of, when the numbing wore off, the anaesthetic wore off, it was uncomfortable, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I wished I'd never had this done. And I will say that I love my tongue piercing. It's just, especially for me, my husband loves it, I love it, and I feel like it's even though you can sort of see it when I talk sometimes, it's like a private sort of thing. I wanted a piercing just for me, not one that you can see all over my face, but I wish I could describe it. But the piercing that I wanted, the thing that I wanted for myself, the tongue piercing, just fit perfectly into that, and I don't regret having had it done. Hence why I had it done twice. Now when I took it out, it was because I was doing a singing thing, and it was The Gondoliers by Gilbert and Sullivan, and it has very quick diction to get your mouth round, and so it got in the way of me. I realised then that it did actually get in the way. If it was anything else it probably wouldn't, but for something you know, like that, it did get in the way. So I removed it for rehearsals, and literally within the one night of removing it, it closed up. And at that point I had it pierced for a few years, so I was quite surprised by that. But obviously it's a healing, they say it's a healing muscle, don't they, your tongue. So anyway, I left it for years, and then a few years, and then I really missed it, and so I went and had it done again. And the second time I had it done was in Leicester, which is my hometown, and it was just in a piercing shop in the city centre, which I trust, because I've been there with friends and things before. I've got friends that have had tattoos there and whatnot. I've not got any tattoos, by the way, which is why this is just piercings, and I won't be doing a separate video on tattoos because I don't have any. So second time I had it done, they didn't numb it, and when you're physically having your tongue pierced, it's not like this really slow process like you when you have an injection where you can sort of feel it go into it. It's not like that. It's unpleasant in the sense that it's a yank. It's done very quickly, and it's kind of like you can feel that it's been forced. You know, I'm sure the needle is very sharp, but at the same time your tongue is a very thick, strong muscle, and so that's not pleasant. But it's not like it's a really sharp. Well, it wasn't me. It wasn't a sharp pain, because it's over so quickly, and it's quite difficult to stick your tongue out and keep it stuck out and allow someone to do that. It's like when I was growing up, my mum used to say if I was naughty, put your hand out, and she'd tap my hand, which she didn't even tap my hand that badly, but it was the idea of putting yourself out to slaughter, you know, that was very difficult to do. And it's like that with a tongue piercing, I guess. With the ears, you could just have to resist the urge to pull back, and I suppose you just sort of sit there. But with your tongue, it's usually inside your mouth, so to stick it out, allow someone to clamp it, and then allow that to happen is difficult to do. I suppose it takes you know, I don't know if anyone would disagree with this, but I suppose it takes a bit of courage, and you have to really want to do it. They tell you to make sure you've had a small meal or something with some sugar in before. Not too much, because you don't want to be sick, but at the same time I think that they do that because if they think that you're getting yourself worked up too much, then you might pass out if you've got low sugar. I'm sure that's why. If you're a professional and you want to add something to that, or that's incorrect, please let me know in the comments. But yeah, that was my experience both times. Second time it wasn't much different in regards to healing, and I'll just talk to you about the things that I like to have. So I like to have the piercings that have a smooth ball on the underneath, I'll just take it out of the packaging for you. And these are just a few, literally £1 or two, a couple of pounds from the internet. So the ball end, I like it to be smooth on that end, and I think these are stainless steel, and the ball at the top I like to have a gem in. I've got a clear gem here, I've got a light pink gem here which I think is lovely. I've got another clear. Clear is my preference. I just think it's, I know it's classy. That might be the wrong word to use for some people, I'm sure. Some people think the whole idea of piercings full stop is the very definition of something that's the opposite of classy, but anywho, I really like it, and I really like the clear one. I've also got one here which is, it is surgical steel. It will be hard for you to see, but it's sort of like, it's not quite clear, it's like a multicoloured, but clear, if that makes sense. So on to my navel piercing. So I had my navel pierced in Spain. I was on holiday, I was about 14, 15. I was with my dad, my stepmum and stepsister. My stepsister had hers done, but she was older, and I think my stepmum wanted to encourage some sort of rebellion. If you're watching this and it's wrong, sorry Sandra, but yeah, my dad had said he didn't want me to have it done. And I think she was quite keen on me. Well, I got the impression anyway, she was quite keen on me having it done. And I sort of felt like I wanted to fit in. I wasn't really sure if it was what I wanted. I just knew that I didn't like my stomach. I mean, a lot of teenage girls don't, but I was quite overweight at the time. And I thought something pretty there would distract or detract from what I thought was an ugly part of me. And I suppose I also wanted something pretty, thought it would you know, just make something that wasn't beautiful, I guess. So I went with my piercing. They did it quite deep, and my body didn't really like it. It didn't heal very well. It did get infected. I went in the sea with the salt water and all the things they tell you to do, but it just, you know, it took months and months and months to settle down, and I did get to the point where I regretted having it done. And with my navel piercing, it started to work its way out. I know a lot of people that happens to, and I'm very lucky, I guess, that it didn't work itself all the way out, because I know several people that's happened to and they've got a horrible scar there. But mine did work itself out to the extent where there's not a lot of skin or flesh in the piercing, if that makes sense. So I need a very small bar. Most of the bars that you can buy, and the decorative pretty ones that you see in shops and whatnot, are around 10mm plus. I have to have 6mm. So this is my 6mm. As you can see, it's a very, very dinky thing, but it fits it perfectly. I've got a red one here. I have a clear one, and the one I'm wearing is like a hot fuchsia pink one, which I absolutely love. And yeah, I do clean them, but I just find that with navel and tongue piercing, not necessarily with earrings, but navel and tongue piercing, because they're in constantly and I never take them out, I shower in them, I eat with them, you know, everything, sleep with them. I just find that it's good to just literally just chuck them away and start afresh every now and then, which I do. So because they do start to become tarnished as well, I like them to be, you know, shiny and fresh and hygienic. So that's my navel piercing story. There's no point me talking about the cost or how to pick a good place to go, because to be honest, I was very young when I had mine, and I sort of went with whatever was readily available geographically, and the prices wouldn't be relevant to what you pay now. So, but I will just say, if I was having it done now as an adult, I would definitely do some research to make sure that it was a reputable place that I was going to, and I wouldn't try and get like a discounted thing, because it's just one of those things where I just don't think it'd be worth risking. I'd rather just pay that little bit more and have it done correctly. So yeah, I think that's everything. The reason I did get them on eBay, my jewellery, is because, like I say, the sizes are very particular. I'm very particular about the sizes that I have. If it's too big, it just looks silly. It sort of dangles around, and it's not in a very flattering way. So if if there's any questions that you have about my piercings, then please ask me in the comments. For the person who requested this video, I hope it has given you all the content that you were looking for, and I hope you all enjoyed it if you got this far to the end. So see you in the next one. Bye!